Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed Fight Night, and we have ourselves another EB01 match here. We have your guys' favorites. It's a mirror match of the Sakazuki one, and the only reason why I'm actually even doing this is because this is grand finals here at DXN Outpost, DXN Provisions. We got my man RARXD on the left-hand side, and as well as Project CCG's very own Nikki Goldman on the right. So RAR actually going first on this. You see the stage, a very nice setup here, and we see Nikki cycling out the T-Bone and passing the turn. I feel like T-Bone never sees any play, man. It's just a 2K counter and good cycle material, like you just see right then and there, the cycle. But we are going to swing 8K into life. He does take it. And quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is DXN Outpost, DXN Provisions, the only place where I get all my sealed products. And right now, guys, they do have play mats as well as some sealed products on the shop. So check out the link below for any of that really good stuff. So we did see the 4-cost Kuzan coming down here, as well as cycling the Rob Lucci out of there. And the 5K swing did end up connecting, so we are at an even 3 life to 3. We start things off with the brand new, going to grab the Suru, and it looks trashing the rest. And then we're going to go ahead and tap 1 for the Tashigi, searching top 5 for... once again, another Navy card, and that's actually going to be Helmeppo, 1K counter, of course. And... probably swinging, swinging easy 5K, minusing 1, using stage. And now we see the Houndblaze. Very interesting play here to sacrifice the Houndblaze to get rid of that 4-cost Kuzan. I guess my man Aurora wants nothing to do with that card on the board. So we are going to go ahead and check the trash here. Nikki's going to go ahead and swing a 5K into life. And Aurора's going to take it here, dropping down to 2 life. And now we see the brand new, what do we have for targets here? We have the Tashigi or the Great Eruption, both fantastic targets. But we're going to grab the Tashigi here. That's a good amount of cards in Nikki's hand. We have 2 to 3 Gecko Mourias in hand too. Pretty nuts. And we're actually going to cycle away the Houndblaze and using the on-play ability for the Rob Lucci to pop both and then put 3 to the bottom. So my man Ra here, of course, still at his 2 life. We're going to cycle out the Helmeppo. And now we have to figure out exactly here which play we want to do. That's the very difficult part with the mirror match, right? Is that you have to be pretty seasoned of a player to actually perform pretty well in this matchup. Just because you have usually the same amount of cards, it's like every Sakazuki deck's like 48 cards are the same. Some lists run Brook, some lists run Pudding, but for the majority of the thing, it's pretty much the same thing. And we're also able to cycle every turn, so seeing another card is really good, obviously. So Rebecca here, we are going to play the Hina to bottom deck the Lucci, and we're going to swing 9K into life. It does, of course, connect, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and pass here. Nikki Goldman at his 2 life. So this is an even 2-2, and now with the Rebecca on the board, we have a blocker as well as that Hina. Now, I know that for the mirror match, you always try to go for the Hinas to bottom deck, just because Hina is just a fantastic resource for this game, for this deck, right? So if you're able to bottom deck them and kind of like hide them away from your opponent, it's actually really, really good. It really slows down the pace of the game. But we are swinging an easy 5K swing into the Hina, and we're actually going to block it here. I guess assuring that the Rebecca does hit the trash, which is really important. And we are at a Dawn, but we're going to go ahead and tap 1 here for that Tashigi. Searching top 5. What do we see here? We see a 7-cost Navy Borsalino. Is that going to be the choice? No, we're grabbing the Helmeppo here. Of course, 1K counter. Also being able to -3 Dawn is pretty nuts. And we're actually going to trash a Gecko Moria. Using the ability here, we're going to go ahead and swing a 7K into life, and it does connect. Bottom decking the Hina, and now playing the Rob Lucci. Very, very nice here, setting up that 4-6 body, as well as applying a lot of pressure. My man Rar is only at 1 life now, and so we either have to clear the board and make sure that we don't take any damage for the following turn, just because you're now kind of on the clock here. But the good thing is Rar is at a good handful of cards. I mean, he's got like 9 cards in his hand. So we do swing, we swing here. We're going to use the stage ability to -1 on the Lucci, playing the Gecko Moria, playing the Rob Lucci here, and playing the Tashigi. Tashigi searching top 5, grabbing, it looks like the Ama, very good, and then cleaning up the board there. Very solid turn there, being able to establish a 4/6 as well as a Gecko Moria, but we do know that Nikki does have a Gecko in his hand as well. So we're going to see the clap back here, what exactly Nikki can do to clean up this board, or see exactly what he can do. Is he going to play a more of a defensive play or just trying to clear the board up? I mean, we do have, it looks like we don't have Hina in trash, and it doesn't look like we have it in hand either. But there are a ton of ways to kind of get this down. We don't have the stage, but we do have that Ice Age, and Nikki's at 10 Dawn already. Pretty insane here, and it looks like we're swinging possibly a 5k swing into life. We're gonna go ahead and pitch the brand new. We're gonna play Tashigi here, searching top 5. What do we find here? We see the stage as well as a Houndblaze. Might be a little too late for the Houndblaze. We do have the Hina in hand. We could grab the Hina, use the ability here to cycle, throw it in the trash. I mean, we have a ton of different plays that we can do, and that is a nice thing about this deck, right? You kind of, the ceiling is how far you want to take it. There's a ton of things that this deck can do. So grabbing Hina, and also shout out to this deck only lasting for another month in the actual game cycle. But we do see the Ice Age to lower the cost of the Gecko, and now we see the double play with the Helmeppo and the of course the Rob Lucci to clear the board, except leaving that Tashigi up. So we don't have any blockers up, which is incredibly big here. So if my man Ra really wanted to, he could try to go for game here. It's very possible. Wouldn't recommend it, but he could try, right? We don't have any blockers, and we have a cycle through a ton of different cards. I imagine here, instead of going go ahead and doing that play, we're probably just going to go ahead and see him try to clear the board once again. I mean, this is kind of going back and forth. This is usually what happens in this matchup. It just kind of, let's see how many times we can clear each other's board. So my man Raw here trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. We're going to tap 1 for that Tashigi, searching top 5. What do we grab here? Maybe some removal, maybe another Hina. I know that we did bottom deck a Hina, but no, we get a Great Eruption possibly. Kind of on the fence about this, and yes, we grabbed the Hina like we did mention before. That is a huge piece of the puzzle here. Now let's see if Rar can close this out some sort of way. We're gonna swing a 3k into the 3k. He actually might, okay, I was thinking he possibly could block that if he really wanted to, but we are swinging 6k into life. We're gonna minus 1 cost off of that Gecko Moria here, and now we have 7 Dawn up. Actually, not too many. We're gonna go ahead and use the stage here to minus the Gecko, and we're going to use an Ice Age, actually, the brand new Ice Age from that P Bandai set, and we're going to go ahead and play the Rebecca. Rebecca's going to go ahead and grab us possibly the T-Bone or some sort of 2k to hand, I'm assuming. Yes, T-Bone. T-Bone goes to hand. We're going to go ahead and play the Hina to minus that, and now we play the Ama to bottom deck both of those characters. Of course, being Rob Lucci as well as Gecko Moria, and now we just have a lonely Tashigi on the board. Now, something that's really important to note, my man Ra doesn't have a Gecko Moria on the board. Unfortunately, we had to do it the budget way. The way we, the only way we can do it if we don't have a Gecko Moria. So, let's see here. I mean, we do have a blocker up, so 5k swing going into the Hina, actually not really going for live. I'm assuming trying to get cards out of his hand here, and we're gonna block with the Rebecca. And now with the one Tashigi up, I'm assuming we're gonna see another Gecko Moria, since we do have it in hand. Nikki just has it like that, and I mean, we have a ton of different targets. We have we just pitched the brand new as another possible target, but we do have, of course, the Rob Lucci as well as the Helmeppo to clear up the board pretty easily here. So it looks like we are going to go ahead and do so, swinging 2 into 2, and now we see the Gecko Moria grabbing the brand new and the Rob Lucci. That is right, making that Tina a 2 cost off of the swing, and then just bottoming both is pretty nasty here. Very, very good. And we are going to go ahead and pass the turn. Now, Nikki still has 2 life, if you guys did not remember that. 2 life with such a huge board. Not looking too good for Rar. Obviously, if he had the Gecko last turn, he probably would have played it. So I'm assuming he just doesn't have it. Now, unfortunately for this deck, obviously you can draw 2 cards a turn, essentially, with that leader ability. So let's see here what Rar can do. And the trash is massive, man. There's so many cards in your trash. I guess that just gives it the opportunity when you're able to cycle a card every turn. You just have that luxury. So let's see here exactly what RAR wants to do. I imagine we just do the same exact play. We're trying to clear the board as much as we can. He might swing a little heavier, but with 1 life, it's quite scary. I mean, Nikki still has 2 life. That's huge. If maybe he had 1 life, it would be a different story. And I mentioned earlier that he could have swung Tashigi trying to go for life, but obviously he couldn't since he was at 2 life, so that is definitely on me. The black sleeves, they got me, man. They confused me a little bit, so let's see here exactly what RAR can do to kind of clean up this board. It looks like he does have a good 6 cards in hand, and if you don't notice, we are using the DXN stage here with a card holder as well behind the board, so being able to have your cards kind of standing. I am working on a hand cam eventually, but currently still in the works of that, so stay tuned for that. And it looks like we're just trying to figure out here exactly what we want to do. This is pretty much do or die for my man RAR here, but we're gonna start things off with double Zuru. I did not see that coming. We're gonna -4 cost to what it looks like the Gecko Moria, making it a 4 cost character with the stage as well as the leader swing. That is a 2 cost character, and it looks like we're gonna do just that exactly. It looks like we're swinging 5k into the brand new, that is an attacker of course, -1 stage, that's a 2 cost. And now we see the Rob Lucci to pop both. Do we have a Borsalino possibly? We need a blocker, maybe a Rebecca. Yes, we have the Rebecca. We're gonna go ahead and grab the T-Bone and pass the turn. Now this is quite huge. All we need is some sort of removal to get rid of that Rebecca, and it's just essentially GG's for my man here. So what exactly can we do to close this out? Or maybe if we want to play Ice Age plus Houndblaze, I mean, there's so many different options that we actually have. So it looks like we do have the Hina as well as the Houndblaze in hand, as well as a Suru. So my man has options here, and it really just depends on how he wants to piece it all together. So it looks like we are going to go ahead and tap 4 for the Rebecca, grabbing the Hina, using probably the skill here to play a double Rebecca to play double Hina, and now we're gonna Ama both, swinging 5k into life, and 5k into life. He's gonna go ahead and take it, and swinging 6k into life. He's gonna 2k counter, but with double Rebecca 2 life, there's absolutely no way RAR can take this home. He's got 2 3 costs as well as a 4 cost. Even if you had Gecko Moria, I don't think you can clean up this board completely. I just legitimately don't think it's possible. Nikki does have 3 cards in hand as well, so I would really doubt if he can close this out. But hey, I mean, I've seen people come back from worse. RAR does have 4 cards in hand. Let's see what he can do. Maybe we're kind of swinging for the fences here, possibly trying to go for game if we have maybe a Houndblaze plus something else. But we're swinging 5k into the Hina. We're going to 1k counter out of that, and now we're going to use stage ability here to let's see here. We have 3. We're going to play the Hina on the Rob Lucci. And do we have another Ama or maybe a Rob Lucci as well? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and Ama both of those characters away and then play the Rob Lucci. And we're just going to scoop it up. Nikki Goldman does end up taking it. Thank you guys so much for checking this channel, this video. I really do appreciate it. And stay tuned because I have a ton of new EB01 content coming out soon. See ya!